Hi, today's topic is liver and kidneys. I've been asked many questions about it. I've had many people having problems with liver. Some know about it, some don't know, so it's good to know because the liver is one of the most important organs in your body. If that is not functioning well, you won't be able to function well. Why is that? Is because it's an organ that actually does, one of the functions it does is it detoxifies toxins. It detoxifies and removes waste. So if it can't do that, then you would have problems. So what I'm going to talk today is, there's a few things. One is, what is the function of the liver? What is its purpose? How it works? Number two, how is the liver damaged? What are the causes of damage and what happens when it's damaged? And that can actually be reversed, can be repaired, fortunately. So just bear with me here. You will learn how to, if you have any liver damage or there's partly damage, you will see how to fix it and how to keep it in good order. Number three, I'll break it down into 4 parts. There's different approaches to each part, and these parts form the whole function of the liver. Those 4 parts can't be done one or the other, they are done all together. And then number 4, I'm going to give you some nutritional or natural approach on how to handle these 4 parts so that you can bring your liver up to like 100%. And 5, I'll give you links which will be giving you information in written form that backs up what I've said in the lecture. So let me start with the function and purposes. So what it does is, one of the things it does, it balances hormones. So, for example, if you have an excess of estrogen in the blood, too much estrogen, and it's dominating other than progesterone, that can actually trigger cancer. So the liver can protect you against cancer because it can do that function. If it's damaged, it can't do that. So you are more at risk of cancer with a damaged liver. It's a detox organ. It's one of the most important organs in the body. It's a detox organ. It will detoxify chemicals, drugs, alcohol, soft drinks. Even soft drinks are actually very toxic. So it detoxifies that. In other words, it will take a chemical which is toxic, means it's damaging to the body. It takes the chemical or the drugs and it makes them inert. In other words, it converts them into a point where it cannot cause damage. And then it helps, then once those chemicals are inert or not able to damage the body, they are easily eliminated. Another thing it does, it has sugar storage. It stores sugar in the form of glycogen. What glycogen is sugar that gets released in the morning when you wake up. When you wake up and you've just finished sleeping, which is like a form of fasting, and you need some form of energy. You're not going to be eating now. So glycogen is what is released in the morning that gives you that energy. What one tends to do to release more glycogen is one will drink coffee. So why the coffee gives this feeling or this sensation of alertness is because of the glycogen. So because you need to have sugar in the brain. If there's no sugar in the brain, you get blackouts. So glycogen converts into sugar in the morning and gives you that sort of spark and energy in the morning. Now, if your liver is damaged and glycogen is not stored, you wake up tired. You won't have energy. Even if you can drink as much coffee as you want, it just doesn't give that perky thing, that jolt in the morning. So, with a good liver, you've got glycogen will get stored, and you have that gives you that reserve. Another thing it does, it produces bile. It produces cholesterol. Mind you, cholesterol is not a bad thing. Your body, it produces up to 3,000 milligrams of cholesterol. And cholesterol is needed by the brain. Your brain is mainly made of cholesterol. So to reduce cholesterol in your body, that's actually a bit of a dangerous thing to do. Because the liver will produce cholesterol anyway, but if the liver is in good order, it produces good cholesterol. And what is balanced with cholesterol is lecithin. When you have a balance of cholesterol and lecithin, there's no danger with cholesterol. And albumin, which is a form of a protein which carries waste out of the blood. Prothrombin is a protein which actually helps with blood clotting. So it helps with that. Another function it does, it synthesizes amino acids into proteins. So when you eat your food and you eat your proteins get digested. When it gets digested and broken down, it gets broken down into amino acids, which are the building blocks. And from there, the liver will now help to reconstruct the amino acids into all your different organs or muscles and all that. So it helps produce the new proteins in the body. So now we've done with the functions and the purposes. Hormones, detoxes chemicals, it stores sugar, glycogen, produces bile, cholesterol, albumin, and synthesizes amino acids into proteins. Next now is liver damage. How does the liver get damaged? So liver gets damaged with excessive amount of toxins, with junk foods, excessive amount of alcohol. And if the liver is not in good order, you're going to have a very bad hangover. If the liver is in good order and you drank a lot of alcohol, got drunk, and you wake up in the morning, if your liver is in good order, the hangover is actually much less. There's even a way of preparing your liver. Let's say you're going to go to a party and and you know you're going to have alcohol at night, and you would like to wake up without a hangover. There is a way that you can actually prep your liver so that you don't have that hangover. I will go over that a little bit later. Excessive amount of drugs, medication, chemicals, all these damage the liver. And what it does to the liver, it actually creates a scar tissue. So scar tissue means the liver can't function. So we have to find a way to remove that scar tissue. Low calorie diet also creates liver damage. Saturated fats from meat, if you eat excessive amounts of meat with lots of fat, that fat actually gets stored in the liver and it clogs it, it makes it mucky. It's like a strainer. There's like a strainer here or a sieve here, and it's full of muck. So anything that you put inside the sieve here, nothing comes out. So you need to clean that muck. So the excess toxins, the saturated fats, even alcohol and sugar will convert into, if the body doesn't use the sugar, because alcohol, what it does, it converts into sugar. That's where your people who drink a lot of alcohol, you normally see their belly actually expands. It's just a fat storage, because the body is not able to process the amount of alcohol, converts it to sugar, and from sugar turns it into fat. So you get these fat deposits that actually go into the liver. You get the fatty liver, and this is what you call cirrhosis. So these are the things that need to be removed, so that the liver can now become like a sieve now, where all this is clean, all the muck is clean there. So whatever comes into the liver, out comes, let's say, the chemicals. If there's chemicals coming into the liver, out comes inert chemicals. So if there's amino acids, digested foods, amino acids coming out of there, then you're going to have proteins coming out of there. So if this is mucked and clogged, you don't have a chance now of fixing that, of having the liver functioning. So the liver function goes to a lesser function. One of the problems you have with liver damage is women with menopause will have hot flushes. So when you clean the liver, you do a liver cleanse, and you take out the muck, and the liver is able to filter, the hot flushes go away. So women, ladies, at menopause, this is one of the things you have to have a good liver, otherwise you're going to go into a very sort of uncomfortable transition. Alright, so what are the nutritional solutions? So I'm going to take the solutions for each one of them. A solution for the scar tissue, a solution for the clogged filter with the muck in there, a solution for the liver to do the filtration, because once the clogging is out, it still has to do filtration. You have hormones coming in here, and out comes hormones which have been deactivated. So whatever will come in here, that's called the filtration, and out comes what is needed. In comes the omega-3, in comes the lecithin, and out comes the bile. Out comes the cholesterol. So if this is mucked, what are the chances of this coming out? And if you don't have bile, you don't have cholesterol, you don't have proteins, you don't have deactivated hormones and all that, you can imagine what mess your body will be in, why you feel so tired, why you feel exhausted, why you have no energy, because the filtration is not happening. So now number 3, and then the production. What is required for the liver for it to produce the bile, for the albumin, for the glycogen? What are the things that? So let's go number 1 on damage. Damage which has got scar tissue. So to remove scar tissue, vitamin that does that very well is vitamin E, up to 800 milligrams a day. It helps remove the scar tissue. What vitamin E does, it actually replaces the scar tissue and starts helping to reconstruct new cells. And another product is brewer's yeast. Brewer's yeast, or there's another one, similar one, it's called torula yeast. Torula yeast. This yeast is full of B vitamins. It's very, very rich in B vitamins, and it's also got sulfur. Sulfur is one of the ingredients in proteins which actually helps rebuild the liver. So bring yourself up to 2 tablespoons a day. So now the problem with brewer's yeast, it actually can create gas. So what you do is you start with half a teaspoon a day and increase the dosage over a week to bring it up to 2 tablespoons a day. So it has to be a gradual increase, otherwise there'll be a lot of gas formation. If you're not tolerating it, maybe it'll take it a little bit longer, so over 10 days, but bring it up to 2 tablespoons a day. I've given this advice to some people. One person I know has had their liver recovered completely because of that, because of the brewer's yeast. So there you go. So number one, for this, if you've got scar tissue, you know you've got scar tissues because you would have had excess toxins. The excess toxins would be, let's say you've been working as a spray painter, so you've inhaled a lot of paint. You've worked in a chemical plant where there was a lot of chemicals, so you've worked with insecticides, pesticides, and breathed them in. All these are toxins that come into your system. If you've been drinking a lot of alcohol, that's another one. If you're on medication or been taking drugs, street drugs or medications, those are the things that would actually start creating problems with the liver, and you're going to have scar tissue in the liver. The muck, how to remove the muck? The muck is from low-calorie diet and saturated fats from meats that you've got and got clogged. The clogging can also be from the damage as well. How you do the clogging? Now, you have to decide that you want to fix it, because if you haven't decided you want to fix it, this is going to be very hard. The thing is that it took a lot of effort and time to get through the toxins, alcohol and all that, to have a result where you are feeling probably so down, feeling so tired and exhausted and all that. So it's up to you now if you want to regain your energy levels that you had. Remember, imagine you're now 20 years old and you can drink as much as you want because your liver was working. Now your liver is like shot now. So if you want to get back to that, you're going to have to do some hard work now. So to remove the muck, it's 1 week of juicing. And the juicing, the vegetables to take for juicing is celery, cucumber, cilantro, or dhania. Those three, you can have some colored berries with lemon and all that, but the main things is the celery, cucumber, and cilantro. The celery, up to one bunch of celery a day, or half a bunch a day, and half a cucumber or 1 cucumber. You can drink once or twice a day. All right? No fats, no milk. Milk is full of fat. So in other words, you're allowing your liver to rest. Let it rest from all the fat. So no fats, no milk. The only good fats would be avocados, almonds, macadamias. These are the good fats that you can take because that's good. Because the body is made up of fat as well, but not the saturated fats. And you take these juices so that it actually starts removing that muck, so that it opens up the holes, the filter. It opens up the filter in your liver so that now something can come into the liver and can come out instead of getting stuck in the liver. So celery, cucumber, and cilantro or dhania. And support it with colored berries, with lemon, citrus fruits. Also kale, spinach, sweet potato, also very healthy for the liver at that time. So now that you do this for a week, at least for a week, I can tell you it will be hard. I've had people doing it, and it's been hard on them because it's a complete change in the way they live, in the way of their habits. It's like completely against their habits. So this is where the fight is going to be. Can you sort of like control yourself to go into better habits? Number 3 is filtration. So now, when the food has arrived here, or the toxins have arrived here, or the hormones have arrived here, how does the liver now function? It needs certain foods, which you get from cruciferous foods. The cruciferous foods are very, very good for the liver function. Which are cruciferous foods? You have a choice. There's 4 of them: broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and cabbage. So you can have 1 or more of them. And then you can take supplements. Supplements of turmeric, curcumin, and dandelion. Turmeric, curcumin is the same thing, dandelion, and milk thistle. So these you can buy them as herbal formulas. This is when I was talking about the alcohol here, and to reduce the hangover. If you take a course of turmeric, of dandelion and milk thistle, you take that before going to your party and you're going to be drinking, that helps with the hangover. It actually reduces the intensity of the hangover. And sulfur-rich proteins. Sulfur-rich proteins will be like eggs. Eggs are rich in sulfur. Eggs has got lecithin, so eggs is a very healthy protein for the liver. And number 4 is the nutritional approach in terms of supplements. So this is for the production. So now you need certain vitamins and minerals for the production of the bile albumin. So you need B vitamins, especially B6, a little bit higher amounts of B6, which you get in a B complex. I suggest in a B complex you should have at least 50 milligrams of B complex a day for your B vitamins. Why B6? Because in B6, now we're going to talk about kidney and liver are both filters. So what I spoke about liver, this also applies to the kidneys, where the kidneys does the filtration. The curcumin, dandelion and milk thistle is also recommended for kidneys. B6, you need B6. In the absence of B6, what tends to happen is calcium turns into deposits in the kidneys and you get kidney stones. So you have to have the presence of B6. Vitamin A and D. Why you have to have vitamin A and D? The vitamin D in the kidneys, what it does, it helps to reabsorb. In other words, the blood arrives into the kidneys, which is another filter, and if you don't have albumin, which I spoke about earlier, albumin, which is one of the proteins that the liver makes, the albumin, what it does, it carries waste and it carries food as well. It will take the calcium and put it back into the blood. If you don't have albumin and you do not have vitamin D, the calcium now filters into the kidneys and it actually calcifies. And when it calcifies, it turns into kidney stones. So one way of preventing kidney stones is vitamin B6 from your B complex and vitamin A and D. So then you'll have less. If you've got kidney stones, it will help dissolve them. It will take a little while, but it helps dissolve them. Alright, so we got that. For stress, when you're under stress, your body uses a lot of B5 and you need B5 for the production of glycogen. Glycogen is what I said earlier, is what produces your sugar storage in your blood, in your liver, so that when you wake up in the morning, you've got that energy. If you don't have vitamin B5 normally, and you're under stress, B5 normally you need about 500 milligrams a day if you've got a stressful life, and you need some B5 also to help for the storage of glycogen in the liver. Lecithin is like an oil-based vitamin. 2 tablespoons. You can put this in your cereals, in your foods. And it helps to dissolve gallstones and bile. So if you've got gallstones, it's because the amount of lecithin is actually reduced. Gallstones, because there's not enough lecithin, it's because the liver has not been making lecithin. Alright, so, and lastly, the links I will give you is acid alkaline foods. You need to have 80% acid and 80% alkaline foods and 20% acid foods in your diet. So in your plate should have at least 80% alkaline foods and 20%. So that chart gives you those foods, and you're going to find that most of these things I've spoken about, the celery, cucumber, and all these things, proteins are acid, so you will have 20% protein acid food, and these other foods here are classified in the alkaline foods. They release alkaline. Eggs and proteins release acid, so you have to keep. It's good to keep that balance, and it gives it it helps your body heal. Article on junk foods. What are the junk foods? What are they? What are the toxins? What is drugs, chemicals, foods, packaged foods? These are all what are the junk foods. What are antioxidants? Antioxidants is to help protect when there's reconstruction of the liver. The antioxidants helps to protect it from getting damaged by toxins. And I have an article on the liver, which gives you a summary of these things, on kidney stones, and an article on oils and fats, essential fatty acids. Where do you find the good fats, and how it helps the body, how it builds up the body in terms of good fats, builds a nice skin. So when you're building the liver, you're also building your skin and your muscles and all that. I think that's all I have to say on the liver. I trust you've learned something new here, and take the approach 1, 2, 3, and 4, fixing the scar tissues, removing the muck in the filtration, in the clogging of the filter. Help the liver now do the filtration. In other words, help it do its work. Because once there's no scar tissues and it's not clogged, then it can work. And when it can work, it will be producing everything that it's supposed to produce. And you should be feeling much better and back to the youngster that you used to be. Because now maybe you can go and drink again. Who knows? I don't advise it because you'll damage it again, but it's up to you. Thank you for listening, and I trust I'll hear from you. Lastly, if you enjoyed it, share it. If you enjoyed it and there's something else you would like to know, you're welcome to ask me. I will oblige and make a video on that as well to better explain certain things that you would like to know. Thank you.